We recently had a discussion in one of my masterclass meetings. One of the members asked me, what do I do when I know that I have so many things to work on? Like there's all these issues and there's all this stuff that I want to fix, but where do I even start? And how do I know what sequence to go in, where to start, and what is the process to actually begin? Because it does seem overwhelming sometimes. Let's talk about it today. What I always like to do is this kind of a approach from two sides. I always like to have one approach where you just do dry exercising, meaning you really just like use the vocal warm-up checklist that I have, and you don't have to use my exercises that I show in the audio program. You can also make up your own. What is important though is that you cover your bases, and then that's kind of where you identify some areas that you could work on. You know, is it the high belting? Is it the transitions? Like there's always some weaknesses, and then work on those areas just in dry exercises, and probably research and find all the exercises you can find that address that issue for you. So that is one side, just going about it in a very technical way. But then when I work on songs with my students, I always try to pick a song that includes one of those issues that we know. Not 10,000 issues and not 18, but it's like one thing that I'm really going to focus on now. And it's always helpful to pick a song that where you know it's not going to add so many other issues, because like there's so many other things that are going to be hard, but where you know, okay, the song is easy enough to learn. It's not a very complex, maybe we're not practicing counting here or anything complex like rhythms, but we're trying to just focus on maybe just finding a song where there is a smooth transition between registers, and then find a song that contains that. And if you don't know which songs, you can always ask me for suggestions, and I can try to think which songs would be helpful for this issue or for that issue. And then that's how you use that song in a very methodical way to focus on this one issue. Like Betty Jo, she always picks a song and then she wants to work on a certain thing. However, of course, a lot of times turns out she picks really, really hard songs that have like all these other challenges. It's helpful to pick a song where you don't have like tons of added challenges. And what I usually like to do also is to try to avoid to be one-sided, meaning if you work on heavy, high chest voice belting, that's awesome. Pick a song for that. But I always like to have like the other side of things, and at the same time kind of work on a song that has the opposite of that. Maybe even head voice, maybe something semi-classical, or maybe something jazzy relaxed. Just so that you know, as you're working on one challenge, you don't just have this thing of like, oh, this is how my voice needs to work. Well, it needs to work that way for this song, but then there's another song that it needs to work so differently. And I think beginning to really become more aware of the fact that this is where I use this, and that's where I use that. And then at one point you start kind of putting things in drawers in your head, and you're like, you pull the drawers, you listen to a song, you grasp it, and you're like, oh, I know what style that is. I think I need like a kind of very relaxed vocal cords kind of style, and not harsh transitions, but very smooth. Or, oh, this is the kind of song where I need to have this very edgy sound, and I need to have like that flip in the voice that's intentional or something. You just start really recognizing sounds and like pulling that drawer for that sound. That's one of the biggest problems that happens, in some teaching, is that a lot of times it's very good about doing one thing, but it just is a lot of times very one-sided. And I have just learned in my own practice that trying to be versatile with the sounds I make and the styles I try just helps me. Because, when I only sang opera, it was not easy to switch into pop and then to sing chest voice higher all of a sudden. But the more you practice that, going back and forth and changing things, It's like language. I used to not be able to switch easily between English and German. And now, because every single day I switch dozens of times, it's very easy now to switch, and I don't need to work hard with my brain to switch. And it happens the same way in your voice. Once you train yourself to kind of know, like, now I can sing classical, now I can sing jazz, now I can sing pop, it becomes easier to switch over.
I hope this really helps you to figure out what to begin with, because I think to have a strategy is so essential. When you know where you want to go and what to do first, it doesn't seem so overwhelming anymore. It's really all about being organized and to begin somewhere. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you have not already for more singing tips. And consider joining my free Facebook group. I will put the link below. I'd like to continue the conversation there. Have a most wonderful day. I'll see you soon, and always keep on singing.